Time for an odd rush. You want to talk about a breakaway? We've got a breakaway going on right now on the SDH Network, getting ready for the USL-W final. It is 3 North Carolina Courage players and me. It's an odd rush, definitely. And it's great to have Kayleigh Herr hanging out with us, Ivy Garner hanging out with us, Syri Davis hanging out with us. Thanks for dropping by during a championship week. I'm glad that you guys got permission to come and that you're not like studying or locked in a room and trying to watch tape or anything. Thanks for dropping by to educate folks on the USL-W championship.
Thank you for having us.
Yes,
yeah, thank you.
All right, so here's the deal. I have actually I don't yet, but this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to write a number down between 1 and 20. Since there's 3 of you, I'm going to widen the number a little bit. And so what I'm going to do is write down a number, and we're going to play Price is Right rules. So if you go over, that's bad. But pick a number between 1 and 20. Closest to it without going over goes first, and then we'll figure out how we do the other 2 after that. So, Syri, since you visited the green room first, pick a number between 1 and 20.
I'll say 14.
You're over. So you get to go to the side. Kayleigh, since you came in second, give me a number between technically 1 and 14, but knowing that 14 is too many.
10.
Okay, you're under. Ivy, give me a number between 1 and 14, knowing that 14 is too many.
11.
Okay, so you are closest. The number, being the true Swiftie that I am, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, the number was 13. So since Ivy played the game the best, and she, knowing that 10 was close, she got 11, one more dollar, got closer in. Ivy, you have the choice. You can either answer first or answer last. So give me your answer.
I'll go first.
Okay, so Ivy will answer questions first. And so now, who gets to answer second and who gets to answer third since you won the showcase?
Ooh. Let's make Syri go second, Kayleigh last.
All right, so that'll be the order. And once again, remember, if at any point you guys want to jump in on any answers or anything like that, we can certainly do it. So for those that don't know, Ivy's a left winger, and she's going to Liberty, hanging out with North Carolina Courage. Ivy, let me ask you, what's the season been like for you from your perspective, chasing after a championship?
It has been so much fun. It's been really cool for me to be able to reconnect with some teammates from club. That was one thing I was really excited about. And then being able to meet new girls, being able to play with girls that I kind of knew of, but never got the chance to really connect with. So I just thought it was so fun to be able to play with girls from all different colleges, all different levels, styles of play, and just build these friendships over like such a short period of time. But like I said, it was just super exciting and just awesome. Yeah.
Syri, what's it been like for you? You've been through the system. You know what it's like being a youth player there with Courage. You're committed to Virginia Tech right now. What's it been like for you as a high school senior to be a part of all this?
It's been the most amazing opportunity ever, honestly, just because I haven't really been able to play with any of these players before, and being able to be in their environment is so different and so just awesome, because I know it's preparing me for everything else I have to come, and being able to make connections with players that I don't think I've normally talked to on a daily basis. It's just been awesome.
So then, Kayleigh, team captain, center back, we are Penn State. I know how this works. So that's just a little college football dropped in there. What's it been like? What's it been like for you to be a part of this equation once again, chasing after a championship and this whole season? Has it been a blur? Has it gone by slowly? What's it been like?
Well, yeah, it's gone by super fast. Starting off with a tie and then just kind of going through every single game. Sometimes we've had 3 games in 5 days. And even though that was super tiring, I think it was just such a great experience. And having this as this is my first summer league season, really. with like being injured last year, and then the year before that I was somewhere else overseas. And it's really everything I could have dreamed of, if that makes sense. I know last year we made it all the way to the finals, and so I was like, okay, let's do it again this year, and let's try to win it. Like, let's actually win it all this time. So I think we have a great group, and I'm really excited for just one more game left.
Yep, well, that one more game, and you can thank Syri for that because of what happened last time out. Syri, let me ask you this: walk me through that second period, and then the opportunity for you to put the shot on net and get it in there and get the win for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I really just the entire time during that second part, I really don't want to go to PKs. Like, we can't get this to PKs. And like when the cross came in and it got all the way through to Riley, and I was like, I feel like I'm a good distance. Like, I feel like I can hit this. I've scored couple goals like this before, and I mean, why not take a chance? I remember Coach Willie saying, all we need is one moment of brilliance. And I was like, why not? Just go for it.
And so she got the moment of brilliance, and Kayleigh is team captain. Where were you? Where were you when this moment happened, Kayleigh?
Honestly, I don't even know what I was expecting. It happened super fast, but all I remember is Syri was there, and like 1 second, and then the next she wasn't. And then it just like all hit me all at once. And I was like, there's absolutely no way this just happened. Like, it was literally like a dream. And then I looked back at my goalie, and she was just on her knees, like arms in the air. And I was like, this is literally surreal. So yeah, I just chased after her to the sideline.
Ivy, where were you when this happened?
I was at the bench. So whenever
you were chilling, you're watching.
We were like so nervous, but like we all agreed that we had a feeling that it wasn't going to go to PK. Someone was going to score and finish the game. We had no idea who, but we just all like had this sense of peace that someone was going to make it happen. And throughout that period, Mia was getting so many good crosses, and she was working so hard on the wing. And we just knew something was going to come of it. And what do you know? Syri scores an absolute banger, and it was absolutely surreal. We freaked out. We couldn't believe it. We're jumping around. It was like such an amazing moment. So happy for you, Syri.
So, Kayleigh, let me ask you this. When it comes to something happening as super fast as this does, this season, and the assembly and rhythm and everything, are you still trying to find rhythm? Is there a rhythm there? When did it happen? Because if you're coming in from all these different places, basically you're all being thrown into a pile. And it's like, okay, I've got to know how this person feels immediately. I've got to know where they're going to be. I've got to know where they want the ball passed to them. Do they like it on their left foot? Do their right foot? Do they want it, wherever? What's it like having all of you in this big group that you've got to sort things out and find a rhythm? Is there rhythm there, or are you still trying to find it in this sprint?
Honestly, I think I'm just speaking for myself here. I know I've played with a handful of players before, whether they're on my club team or on my college team. And I could say I was more familiar with their playing style coming into this season, but it did not take long. I mean, I probably just needed, like, speaking for myself, just 1 week of training to understand how everyone was. Everyone's so open to trying new things. Maybe they're playing a new position. And it was just, I think with the previous years playing as well with this whole team, everyone just sort of clicked together, I would say, after the first game, because that's when we just started playing. We know our playing style. We can comfortably change up formations and attack with that. And I think we were tight-knit before, but this last game just made us even closer as a team on and off the field. So I think we are really hitting the peak of that rhythm right now.
So, Syri, what about for you as one of the younger players that's around? What's it like for you to A, learn from this experienced group, B, be a system player, and then C, get into a rhythm with all these older players? What's this experience like for you?
It's been everything I could have asked for, honestly. Like, Going into it, I wasn't expecting as much as I got out of it. Like going into it, I was like, I'm just going to be a training player. I didn't realize that I was going to get to know all of the girls as well as I have on and off the field. And I think like going off of that, going into the games and stuff, having got to know the girls and all of their playing styles, that really helped with the rhythm. And just because the majority of everybody is like alums and like have played for Courage, and then the training players, like we currently play for Courage, that also helped with the rhythm because we all have like very similar ways of going about trying to play the game.
Ivy, how difficult is this because of 3 matches in 5 days? How difficult is this sprint that you signed up for it? You knew what you were getting into. You wanted to chase after a championship. How difficult is it? Because literally you turn and there's another game on the board. You turn and there's another game on the board. You turn and there's a third one. How difficult is this going through this schedule?
I will admit it was pretty tough at times. There was like a week span where we were traveling back-to-back games. We had like 3 games in 1 week, and we were all exhausted. But honestly, just like turning to your teammates and knowing that you're all going through the same thing together, you're all experiencing the same struggles, being able to talk about it amongst one another, that was super comforting. And I think that helped all of us get through it together. And yeah, it was tough, but we all had each other's backs, and it was really, really awesome knowing that, for me, like knowing that my teammates were gonna make the plays and put the work in even when they were tired. That gave me a lot of security and gave me a lot of trust and confidence in them. And I think that's something that we've all had in each other this entire season, no matter how many games we had a week.
Ivy Garner, Syri Davis, Kayleigh Herr hanging out with us here for a bit of an odd rush. It's a sprint from one end of the field to the other as they are sprinting through the USL-W season, getting ready for the championship match in Cary against Colorado Storm on the weekend. When we talk about the sprint and the camaraderie and all of this, Ivy, let me ask you this. What have you learned about yourself as a player and maybe as a person being put in this group and chasing after a championship? Have you learned anything about yourself, and has your game grown in any aspect in this sprint?
Yeah, I'd say that I've learned how to play. I'm able to adapt to like many different playing styles. I kind of always thought that I was like stuck in the way that my college wants me to play, for example, or like when I was playing club, I thought that I could only play in that style of play. But then coming here this summer and like having to change things around, it's showed me that I can adapt like better than I think. And sorry, what was the second question?
No, just how have you grown, and with your game and all this kind of stuff? How have you grown, and what have you learned about yourself, either on the field or off?
Yeah, and also the other thing is that the level has been so high throughout the season and in practice and in games. The speed of play, we have such quality players. It's just helped me grow into a better soccer player.
Kayleigh, what about it for you?
I would say the main thing is just getting my confidence back. And Coach Willie and Heather and Nick have really let us be kind of more experimental in our play and kind of let us be free a little bit, which I love. And it's definitely allowed me to grow as a player and a person on the field specifically. And yeah, definitely just overall my confidence on the ball, off the ball, things like that.
Syri, what about for you? Because you're around Coach Willie a little more than the other folks are around here. What have you been able to learn about yourself as a high school senior heading to college? I mean, you're getting like almost a different level of learning where you get to learn from your teammates, you get to learn through the system. What have you been learning about yourself as you're a high school senior and committing to college now?
Yeah, I think just being in the environment has taught me a lot of what the college environment's going to be like, because this being the highest level that I've played at so far, it's taught me many things, like the speed of play is much faster and physicality is much stronger, and I need to think quicker in order to complete passes and something like that. It has all been very good in teaching me everything, I feel like, so I can be as prepared as I possibly can going into my last year of youth soccer.
So, Ivy, what would you tell Syri about college? This is where Ivy and Kayleigh get to be camp counselors here a little bit and break it down for Syri as she gets ready for rising senior and heading to college. So for the camp counselors here, the college camp counselors, let me ask you first, Ivy, what should Syri be most prepared for as she gets ready for the next level?
I would say that this summer, I'm sure, has prepared you very well for the speed of play. That's what you're going to expect in college. Just the level of work ethic, too, is another thing that was really similar to the college level. And one other thing that I would add to prepare for is just being busy and being sore. So just be ready. Sometimes you can't really prepare for that, but just know that it's going to happen and just do your best to manage it. Yeah, that's my advice.
Camp counselor Kayleigh, what advice do you have for Syri?
Well, I would say just it goes by really fast. I mean, I'm already going to be a junior in the fall, and I'm really sad about that. And just cherish every single moment, whether it's the horrible sprint workouts or just a tough game or even just the fun days. Like, just cherish every moment and know that you are, like, even just watching you this summer, I know you're ready. Like, you look amazing out there. You handle it so well, and they picked you for a reason, and just trust yourself while you're out there. Like, it's just, the only difference is it might be a little bit faster, and they're bigger, but I mean, you can handle it. You've handled it already. So I think just trust yourself and everything you can do.
All right. Colorado Storm's coming up, and they get to travel from one end of the planet to the other to take you guys on the weekend. Ivy, what has study hall been like getting ready for them? What have you seen? How much tape have you seen? Have you been locked in a room without any windows? Have you been watching YouTube games? What are we looking at here? What's study hall been like?
Well, I'm not going to lie. We had a film session the other day that I was not at, so I cannot speak on that topic. I don't want to lie about it. But I'll let Kayleigh answer that question.
There you go. There you go. So what has study hall been like, Kayleigh?
Well, with our rain delay yesterday, we did have a good window to look over some film, mostly on ourselves and a few, maybe one or two clips on Colorado. But I think we are far into the season where we really are just going to play our game and go out there and do what we've been doing previously. I know that they're going to come out in a different formation than we've played before, with pressing in a 2 front instead of 1 forward. And so we've been going through that, and me and my other defenders have been discussing that as well. And we're prepared.
Are you prepared, Syri? Are you ready for this last match of the season to determine a championship? How prepared are you for this final exam?
I'm so ready. I'm so excited. Like, this is, I feel like, just the course of the season, all leading up to this. It's just been so amazing, and I'm really looking forward to the game. All
right, so last question. Thanks for hanging out to break everything down here. When we have the discussion about Coach Willie and the coaching staff, Ivy, let me start with you. How would you best describe the coaching staff for Courage and with the personality that they bring to the table and the level of detail that they bring when it comes to preparation? How would you characterize the coaching staff that is led by Coach Willie and has a couple of very well-known assistants attached to it?
I would say as a whole, they're very intense and passionate. Those would be my words to describe them. They're intense and passionate in their like unique ways, but they all share that characteristic. I think Willie can be a little intimidating, Syri knows, because he's just like very serious and like cut and dry, kind of like militant in a way I would describe him as, but like very intense. Like, you know what he expects and you don't want to let him down. Nick is intense, but he's like a little more goofy. Like you can laugh with him a little more. And he's just funny. Heather is very, very passionate, and she just has a really loud voice, and everyone respects her so much. I mean, we respect all of our coaches so much, but yeah, I'd say that as a whole, they're all very passionate and very intentional with us.
Kayleigh, what do you think? What other parts of the coaching assessment tree are we staring at here?
No, I completely agree with Ivy. I think they are. I know I'm repeating like some of the things other people have said, but they're out here on their own time. They've been to every single training, every single game, unless there were like other previous obligations. But it really, really makes me respect them because they are willingly going out there and training us when they really don't have to be. And we would not be here in this position without them. And they definitely all bring something different to the table. But it just is what makes us a family. Like Heather had us all over to her house the other day for a little barbecue. And it's just, I don't know really what other team would be doing that really. But I really think of us as just one big family. So
Kayleigh mentions family, Syri.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead and I'll pursue the family part.
Yeah.
What's it like? I mean, what's it like? Because we had your dad on the morning show on Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
and it was really cool to kind of pull back that curtain and get his responses on what it's like to be a dad. And like you're looping through, and it's like you're being a coach, and then you get to be a dad for like 10 seconds, but the match is over. You got to go back to being a coach. Then you can go back to being a dad. What's it like having your dad walk with you through this?
Mm-hmm.
Where you're having all these successes and courage is chasing after a championship. What's that like?
It's very interesting. That's for sure. Like I would say I'm somewhat used to it just because he coached me for a while when I was younger, and then this past season he's coached our team. But I definitely don't think we both expected for me to be where I am with the team today. But I think he's just been incredibly supportive. Like when I feel bad about a bad practice or if I didn't make the roster for something, he's been incredibly supportive. But he tells me exactly how it is straight up. Like he knows that he tells me what I need to work on and that it's a competition. So, and he does what it takes for it to win. So I think it's just been an incredible process having him there with me, less as the dad, more of a coach though.
Nothing, and it's been very cool to see how this has gone through this season and seeing where you guys are right now. One win away from a national championship there in USL-W. Kayleigh Herr, Ivy Garner, Syri Davis from North Carolina Courage U23s, chasing after Colorado Storm at Cary. 6 o'clock Saturday. Be there. You have no excuse because it is free, FREE free, to go watch this match as the Courage chase after a championship. I want to thank the three of you for putting up with a bunch of silly questions, getting ready for a championship. Be safe, be well, and absolutely do your best. Looking forward to seeing how things are going to be Saturday. Good luck this weekend, and I know that everybody up there in North Carolina is looking forward to you getting that last win. Thanks for dropping by here on SDH.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you.